Hey everyone, it's Rob Dog. Welcome to my house of music. And today, now this recording you're watching is actually going to be one in a series of a few that I'm going to record in the span of one day because my house is that I'm at, we're actually about to basically have all the floors replaced, including in this room. So, yeah, I'm just going to make a bunch at once today and just have them in the back catalog ready to be edited and uploaded whenever it's time. But in the meantime, so this is the first of those videos I'm going through, and we are starting out hot with a full hour project. This one is one from one Vylet Pony. Yep, that's right, we're back at it. We're back at it. Third one of her projects I've listened to. And this time, this is the first one that I'm pretty sure is going to be more in like the EDM direction. So I actually haven't heard a ton of this track list. I have heard Battle Against the Banished Sorcerer Knight Stinklebug. And as funny as that name is, that I can already tell you, I mean, you see it. It's a banger. It's a banger. Crazy that that's the one that always comes up over the bunch more that have a bunch more streams. But anyway, with that being said, I'm obviously not very familiar with the story of this album, but I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a fun time. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. So that being said, Vylet Pony, Girls Who Are Wizards, my first venture into a project that I'm under the impression will really be like a bit more like EDM focused. Although at this point, I've also come to expect that no Vylet Pony record will really have just one sound all throughout. You know, just one main one with a bunch of others that'll be fit in, and it'll all work. So with that said, let's get into this.
past does not define me, 'cause my past is not today.
That was a nice little introduction track there. So, Girls Who Are Wizards. I mean, more or less the title track. That one was pretty nicely paced. Maybe dragged out a little, it felt like at points. But overall, not too many complaints there. I mean, definitely very electronic music based. And definitely, I was definitely enjoying myself there. Even though, like I said, did feel like maybe the runtime got like a little long there. But that's kind of just nitpicking at it. It's still in the penthouse. Say by about I'll say a couple steps closer to the door than the VIP rope, but still pretty safely in. Now we have lyrics. Let's do this.
The music never stops, no.
So that was the story of DJ Goober, and I mean that one definitely felt like the first track definitely felt pretty dubsteppy, but this one like took that and turned that up another notch. That definitely sounded like a peak of peak of dubstep's height kind of dubstep track. You know what I'm saying? Like from around that time, whenever it was like really starting to blow out, just before it got like into everywhere and everything, but but with that, it, and that was something that, like, depending on how it was done, it could have taken away from it. But there was just enough variation at the end and just enough goofiness at the end to be like, okay, it's won me over officially. Which is why it is even more safely in the penthouse. Yep. And it's ahead of, for me, it's ahead of Girls Who Are Wizards by like 4 or 5 more steps. Alright, so here you go. The Queen is back. Indeed you are. Don't know how that happened. Alright.
As the goddess wills.
It's all in position. It's all in a stride. Don't tell me of the chances. I don't wanna fight. Let's do this.
Check the method.
What do you think of this?
So be it.
Fireball to the face, bitch. I'm hitting these 20s like nothing. Thunder and lightning still back in my cone. You know that I couldn't be bluffing. Wait it out. I still haven't seen all the shit you've been bragging about. I'm on the wizard shit. You're giving quests in the crowd. Run it back. I've been in this game. I know how to talk to the rats. Getting stacked. All of the spells that I'm hitting just slap. Burning king. All of your treasures fall into my lab. My potions could kill you, bitch, cause your ass ain't strapped.
Check the method.
What are you doing here? Is I What do you think of this?
track that was another one that like won me over by the end, because it's like there, like, even though it's like, yeah, this is definitely like a sound I've heard before. Like, you know, I feel like I'd heard, you know, plenty of whenever I was growing up, because, well, again, I mentioned this before, me and Vylet Pony are the same age, but you know, she throws in just, you know, it's Vylet Pony, she throws in just enough little funny bits in there for me to be like, okay, you got me. You got me, Trixie. You got me. So, I mean, also, really, I did really like that little part where her voice came in there. But, you know, obviously that's not the main part of it. But still, it was a nice little touch whenever it was in there. Again, overall, we're back in the penthouse again, baby. And it's like right there, right alongside DJ Goober. Okay, now, this next track. Okay, this one, the title is Catch My Eye, Wizard of Wubs. Let's go. That one felt like, of the songs so far, that one was kind of the most. This is gonna sound like I'm talking down on it, but I actually mean this in a positive way. That sounded like the most choppy one yet. Like it had the most chop ups like mixed into there. Am I making sense? Like, it's like everything from start to finish was just like. How do I properly put it into words? Like it felt like there was like little breaks placed on everything, which for me is a plus, at least for this song. It definitely felt like it felt like that was just the direction. It felt like it was the best direction for this. I'll put it that way. But with that said, Penthouse, couple steps behind the previous two songs, though. But now here comes Menu Theme. There's a menu theme nestled within all of us. Now, I'm not even gonna lie. I am not very familiar with my subgenres of EDM. Like, I know some names, but like a lot of them I wouldn't be able to tell apart. Would that previous... This is a genuine question I'm asking. Would that previous track be considered chill step? Because I don't know, just off vibes, that just feels right. But if I'm off base, let me know. But yeah, the vibes on that one were definitely, a little more laid back. The drop was, a little, like, not very intense. Just, just kind of nice and relaxing. It was, it was a nice track, nice little break within, all the, again, like, whether it's dubstep or bro step or whatever other subgenres. I'm not very good at making the distinctions. I know that, for someone who produces it, they're probably like, you idiot. Listen, okay, I can barely, I don't even think I can produce chords right now, much less genres. But I can at least get a feel off of, like, the vibe of stuff. And that last song, that was a chill ass vibe. I'm with it. It's in the penthouse. Let us continue.
till Christmas morning.
Please sit down. Hey!
Hell yeah. Okay, this is my favorite one so far. This is my favorite one so far. We're 6 tracks in, and we have a... Oh, I'll have to see whenever Stinklebug comes back around if it tops this, because it's going to be close. It's going to be close. But I love it. First of all, whenever that first drop to bass came in, I'm like, wait. Because either my memory is serving me great right now, or it is going to make me look stupid. But that drop the bass, was that the same one that was in, I think it was a Skrillex song? Like, my mind's debating on, yes, of course it was in a Skrillex song, and everyone's like, no, Sonny Moore is the easy answer, it has to be someone else. But anyway, turns out this whole song went crazy. Of all the songs so far, this is already the one, along with Stinklebug, that like I would go crazy live to those. Again, if you haven't listened to the album yet, just stick around. You're gonna see how much of a banger the Stinklebug song is. But for this one, it sneaks its way into VIP. It sneaks its way into VIP. It take, like, everything else is good. This takes it up a notch. This takes it up a notch. Okay, so that one, I mean, it was pretty. It was nice. It was well done. It was clearly an interlude. I mean, which honestly makes sense. It's right in the middle. 6 tracks before it, 6 tracks after. Nice break in the album, nice on the ears, but it's an interlude. So, it doesn't get into the penthouse, but because it's you gotta really leave an impression on me with your interlude for it to get in there. But because it was pretty, because it was really well done, it is just about 3 or 4 steps outside. Which again, not too bad for an interlude track. But okay, let's get back into the action. Now we're about to get the second most stream song off this album. Hold on, I gotta pause it right there. Yo, wait, no, ain't no way. Is that the... Oh, I'm blanking on the name of the Pokemon, but was that the Pokemon sample that Jane Remover used in JR, and all throughout Revenge Seekers? Vylet did first? Oh, he is.
Thank you. Does anyone know where I can pick up some potions, though?
Okay, so first of all, okay, what is it, like Palkia or something like that? I don't even know if that's close to the right name, but I think I remember that being so. But anyway, enough on that one specific sample, just because that caught me so off guard. But yeah, that's right. Shelly the Android Shelly the Android Lobster, right? Yes. So, basically, what made me have that reaction to it was I saw probably the video to this song live, or maybe another song that features Shelly. But it was the video of the Vylet Pony live set, and she literally like has it out on like her fingers, and it's like it. It's great in the dorkiest way possible, and I absolutely love that. I absolutely love it. I absolutely had a blast listening to this song. This is definitely the funnest song on this album. In fact, I'll even go so far as to say, I mean, there were the recent tweets Violet made about, you know, how she wasn't exactly happy about like how Antoinette had kind of grown into this thing that was, you know, larger than, you know, what she'd intended it for. But I really feel like Creature City here kind of, you know, does a lot of the same things that Antoinette does, but like, you know, it hasn't, like, you know, become something beyond what she intended. It, you know, and there's beauty in that mix. I mean, this is just, I'd even say this is an even more fun track than Antonym, while leaning into all the, you know, same stuff that Antonym does. It's just a beautiful thing to see. So, you know what? I was thinking throughout, I was gonna find some reason to, like, it was gonna be in the penthouse at least the whole time. I can't see any reason why it doesn't at least sneak into VIP. At this point, I've talked myself into it. It's sneaking right in, okay? Sue me.
bitch. Saying your late range like on those swerves. Horror subsided, just a common nerves.
You've had your safe potion set up on that night. You're a rascal.
Sweat.
Alright, so overall, this back half has been hitting, man. So Potion Seller here was, it's another kind of like, it's on the fun and goofy side, especially on the first half of the track. But also like in spite of the nearly 6-minute runtime, it carries that runtime well. The switch up is well timed, and definitely brings a little bit of a different flavor to the back half of this track. It all fits together cohesively, and it's just a good time for like all of the almost 6-minute runtime. It's a good time. So with that being said, I would say it's in the penthouse, about 3 or 4 steps outside, behind the VIP rope. So, alright, let's continue.
Dragging all the
Okay, so got kind of a calm outro, so I'll stop it here. But what did I think of the track? I mean, again, nothing here is not going to be well done. This is no exception. It's just that it feels like, you know, the cyclical nature of kind of how the track was arranged and how it went about things didn't quite feel like it filled out the 5.5 minute runtime in a way that, at least to me, was satisfactory. I mean, like, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just kind of feels like as it goes on, it's like the second drop, I was really hoping there would be a little more variation to it. You know, like, if it would have done that, I'd been like, okay, it redeemed itself, but not really here. So, for the first time since the interlude, it's not going in the penthouse, and in fact, it's staying right by the steps in the living room. Sorry to be a grump about this track, but that's just how I feel about it. Okay, but if I'm remembering the track order correctly, it's gonna be a whole big vibe shift, because I think we got Peak incoming.
And now for something completely gay, Luigi. Can we rent a balloon?
Yeah, that was like basically 3.5 minutes of just basically straight action, straight in your face energy, and I love that. I mean the two, like the variation and the 2 times it dropped, even though it had similar build-ups, Vylet's vocals, like right after the first drop, gorgeous as always. And just, man, I love everything about that track. it goes, man. It goes. So, yeah, I think that will end up being my favorite one so far. It's in the VIP by about 3 or 4 steps. It is what it is. But okay. So far, other than Sacred Dragon, this back half has been on a big win streak. Now we got 2 really long tracks to close this out. Let's see how it does, because, I mean, historically, Vylet has a pretty decent track record with longer tracks in these more recent albums.
From across the seas and mountains, been there and back in the dark where I left her in the tales of ever after. I surrender.
Okay, so this wasn't even an intentional thing, but after like the first time I did, I'm like, you know what? Let me do this again to see if like what I'm thinking is really working. And what it was the thing where I closed my eyes, and then by the time I woke up, it was like probably 3.5 to 4 minutes in the track, and I'm like, it's already that far through. Like it didn't feel like it was rushed. It felt like, you know, it like paced itself well, but like it filled out that 7-minute time span like beautifully. And by the second drop and like on that back half of the song, like it won me over, because I wasn't sure I was gonna be rating it, you know, that highly on the first half of it, you know, but you know, once the slower start really kicked into gear, you know, it really you know, grabbed my attention and didn't let go. So with that said, yeah, it's in the penthouse, and it's probably about 5 or 6 steps outside the VIP, but still well within the penthouse. Alright, one last track. By the time we're done, this is probably going to be an 1.5 hour run time. Oh well. No. Run that back. Hold on. Do my ears deceive me? I'm going to run it back by about like 15 seconds. Hold on. 136. 20. A little more. Yeah. Close enough. My ears do not deceive me.
just a mere beginning of the world we made. One more time.
God dang it, Trixie. That part where you were crying before the last drop was... It was this close to being enough to make a grown man cry on camera. So, let's see. So the first half of that track was... I mean, it was another really fun song. I was already really enjoying myself. You know, obviously, you know, freaking out over the little wolf sample thrown in there. You know, that was a good time. But, man... God dang. Any song that can, like, even, like, either get me crying or get me close to crying is always going to have a special place in my heart. So, In the Name of Friendship, you know, I'm not quite going to put it in VIP, but it's, like, right outside. So, of course it's in the penthouse. And as for the full album experience, I mean... You know, the first half, you know, I definitely enjoyed myself in the first half of it, but man, it really felt like it kicked into another gear for the second half. Other than Sacred Dragons, for me, I mean, if you like that, nothing wrong, just not my cup of tea. But, I really just enjoyed myself with this album experience. You did it again, Vylet. You did it again, another W. So, of course, the full album experience is going in the penthouse. And with that being said, for those of you that are still here and almost an hour and a half later, of course, as always, you are a legend. And before I get into the outro, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? I don't know. Am I doing it right? What is it? Whatever. Bro Huff Every Pony, as that one Vylet song says. There y'all go. But with that being said, of course, thank you as always, and don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, ring that. Don't forget to leave a subscribe, ring that bell. I'm still flustered from almost crying at that last song there, but fuck it, we ball. And yeah, as always, thank you for coming to my house of music. Stay a while.